About a year ago, we put that video out on social media of Shayna giving birth, which was a huge surprise to everyone because most people didn't even know she was pregnant. I mean, we had a lot of fun with that because it was a good surprise. We now have some things going on that we don't want to shock people with, so we've decided to make this video to kind of fill you guys in on what's been going on. So back in February, I got sick. It was probably COVID. I'm not sure because we didn't take any tests. It took me about 2.5 weeks to get better. About a week into my sickness, Shayna got the same thing, but just never seemed to get better.
And we thought maybe that was just because I was about 6 months postpartum and still breastfeeding. So we expected me to take a little bit longer to recover. And then I just decided, let me get outside more, get some sunshine, try to work out, push myself a little harder. And unfortunately, everything seemed to make it worse.
Eventually, we decided that she should probably go get some blood work done. And went and did the blood work. And the very next day, she got a phone call from the lab. And I actually remember her that day saying that she felt like she was dying. And
I'm not a dramatic person when I get sick. It literally felt that way.
And so I had left the house to go do something. And not even 20 minutes later, got a phone call from her saying that the lab called and that her hemoglobin or red blood cells were so low that she needed to get to the hospital right away for a blood transfusion.
And when we got to the hospital, all I know at this point is that my hemoglobin is extremely low. So low that they couldn't even believe I walked in on my own. And after they ran some more tests, they discovered that all my blood levels were actually low, and the only thing they thought it could be was leukemia. So that was our unofficial initial diagnosis. Fortunately, after another few days of tests, they were able to determine that I didn't have any cancer cells in my body. And then after doing a bone marrow biopsy, we eliminated leukemia.
But what the bone marrow biopsy did show was that Shayna had PNH, which is a 1 in 1 million disorder. And she also has severe aplastic anemia, which is a 2 in 1 million disorder. And they are both diseases where the body is killing the blood cells. There's some kind of issue in the bone marrow that could have come from her giving birth or from her being sick. Just something triggered this issue with her bone marrow that now her body is essentially killing her. So PNH is when your immune system attacks your red blood cells and kills them off, and your red blood cells are responsible for carrying oxygen around your body, which made sense, hindsight 2020, because one of the biggest symptoms she was having was shortness of breath, just doing the most basic activities. And the aplastic anemia, it is where your immune system really kills all your blood cells. And so, white blood cells, platelets, everything, which again, hindsight's 2020, she was having some bruising, she was out riding the horses, or just again, doing basic activities around the house. And we kind of missed all those symptoms. We just thought,
I think we just created excuses for the reason, and then we brushed it off because neither of us ever get sick or anything. Like, we never go to the doctor.
And so, we just figured it had to be something to do with postpartum, but we were wrong. And so up to this point, since April, Shayna has had probably 15 blood transfusions along with another probably 15 or so platelet transfusions. And since the first week of April and her initial 9-day hospital stay, I don't think we have gone a single week without her having to visit the hospital. In fact, she's got, she collects her hospital wristbands. And that is
from
just
every visit so
from
far.
every visit. With PNH, there are treatments that work really well, but the bigger issue is the aplastic anemia. There's really only one way to treat that, and that is to kill your immune system. But with that, of course, comes a pretty crappy quality of life because you can no longer be in crowded areas. You can't travel. She really can't even be around the kids because anything they bring home from school could kill her. And so the only actual cure would be a bone marrow transplant.
So of course, I'm thankful that there is a cure. However, that does come with its own challenges. I'll have to go through chemo and full body radiation. I'll also, I'll of course be losing all of my hair, and I'll be having to go into isolation for between 60 and 100 days at least, which means I won't even be able to see my kids at that time. And that'll be hard for us as a family. I will have to move across the country for the treatment, and As much as Malik would like to be there for me, we know we just can't do that to the kids, having both of us gone away from them for that long of a period. It would just be devastating to them.
So if you want to learn more about PNH or aplastic anemia, a quick YouTube search will give you all the information you need. In the meantime, if you're a praying person, we appreciate all the prayers. I'm sure we'll do another one of these and probably a few more, as we get further in this process, because I know a lot of people are going to want to be in the loop. I think we've been pretty overwhelmed already, and we haven't even really put it out there up until this point. So again, the prayers are much appreciated. Wanted to fill you guys in so we didn't surprise you with a negative surprise. But until the next video, we're out.